2, 1. Welcome to PPR podcast number 223. My name is Paul Rudy. I am the executive producer of the Prep Pigskin Report, but the star of the show sits to my right. His name is Grossman, Bert Grossman. Bert, president of the Strike Force, co-host of the PPR, and the procurer of big-name guests, like the one we're about to talk to.
Would you be my Ed McMahon, you think? I know that's outdated.
Sure, I'll do whatever you need me to be.
You're my sidekick. I'm Parson.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking forward to one of my favorite players from the 90s, if not my favorite, actually, believe it or not. Robert Griffith from the Minnesota Vikings. You can't say Mount Miguel next.
But he's from Mount Miguel. He's a Matador. He's from the East County. Went to the Aztecs, then walked down. You know, Robert, I was telling Bert, you are the prototypical rags to riches, don't have a claim. You're the living example of you don't need to have a bunch of stars next to your name in your recruiting bio. If you can play, they will find you. Is that a fair assessment?
I would say yes.
That's
for sure. I mean, I'm just saying that because I just remember the journey, and the journey was you just weren't something, right? It was always you're not fast enough, you're not big enough. Well, first it was you were not big enough. Then it was you're not fast enough. Then it was we don't know where to put you. You're not big, you're not a linebacker. You're not a corner. You're not a safety, but you can do a lot of a little bit. So that was essentially my football career until I got to the pros, and all those things that I thought were hurting me from getting somewhere really was what a strong safety did in the NFL. It's like pretty much do everything you can.
I read about you a while ago, and it was fascinating because it was when you left Mount Miguel and then you had to get up at like 4 a.m. and deliver beer truck because you weren't on scholarship, and then I think you broke your arm or something and you couldn't deliver beer anymore. Yeah. And then your mom had to like sell some personal belongings to get you through the semester, and then you get a scholarship. If you wouldn't have got that scholarship, would that have been it for football for you?
For sure. There's no way I would have been able to play beyond that because it was just the time was up. The story is just the way you called it. So I was working at Mesa Distributing. I'm not sure if they're still there. And Mesa Distributing, I was working as just a helper, right? So I had the hand truck and was delivering beer 4:30 to 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. Then I would have to go to class, then practice, repeat. I did that for 3 semesters. Excuse me, my 3rd semester is when I broke my arm, my forearm. Broke both bones, wasn't on scholarship, and had to make a decision. And couldn't work the job, didn't have the money to really pay for school. And so that's when my mom stepped in, and oh man, bless her heart. She was able to go out there with a brace on my arm the 4th semester, earned a scholarship, ended up becoming a starter, and played this rover dime back position, which was will linebacker and 2 back sets. 1 back set I had to go play nickel. And so I was everywhere, right? So I was covering tight ends and slot receivers and, learning how to fill the run as a weak side linebacker and all the things that really put quivers, arrows in my quiver for the NFL because I didn't have to learn how to do all that, right? I just rolled right in. I understand the lingo. I knew how to fit the run. Because of San Diego State and the receivers that we had, I developed a really incredible skill set to cover in the slot. So you got to remember it was my eras, Marshall Faulk, Darnay Scott, Patrick Rowe, Oz Hakeem, Leroy Glover, Kyle Turner. We sent 40-some guys to the NFL. And just that, and we were a real big passing team, right? So I got all those man-to-man cover skills during that time that allowed me to make the Viking team, right? At the end of the day, that's really how it came down to.
The role you're describing is now the Metellus role for the Vikings. He's playing almost the what's old is new again. I mean, everyone's calling it this cutting edge defense, and you were doing it 30 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I was a Swiss Army knife, man. Whenever we need to play, if we play with 3 safeties, I would be the guy that would have to adjust and cover. And I remember playing a lot of spots for the Vikings, and I was actually the starting nickel for my first 7 years. Actually, when I think about it, my first 7 years, even when I was a full-time starter, I would still go down and play nickel on third down. And so that upbringing just allowed me to have that 13-year career, which I'm really proud of.
But just to review, you walked on at San Diego State, or were you like a?
Yeah, I walked on.
Man,
Did not have a scholarship. Yeah, I walked on there.
That is, I mean, you and what? 100 other guys can say that they walked on at their college and then walked on into the NFL and played more than 10 years. I mean, you're in a pretty elite group.
Yeah, it's a special. I love that. I love that I earned it. You know, it's something to say for yourself. You know what you're made out of and what you're capable of. But just thinking about being in all those rooms where guys were getting cut and how you had to set yourself above. It was really a difficult thing, but I was prepared. I was in great shape all the time. And that's what got me over the hump. And just my overall knowledge of the defense, just being able to fit, and understand schemes and fit where I needed to fit and play well.
I don't know why this just hit me. I just remembered something. I'm old enough to remember this. Where you cheated on Vivica Fox with Kelly Price and as relay. I just remembered.
What happened?
Kelly Price made this remix of a Kelly Price made this remix of a Shirley Murdoch song, and Vivica Fox was the player. He was the cheating husband in the music video. I just remember you over there with your shirt off, getting in your BMW. I'm like, man.
Where would I find that video?
Oh, I'll give it to you.
Okay.
YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
those were some fun times.
That was
those were some fun times. Viv's a good friend. I was able to. I shot the Kelly. It was a Kelly Price video, and I got that video just by way of my sister is a former model, and so she had people taking photos of me and things, and she called me. It was in the off season, 10 at night, and I was in San Diego. She said, "Hey, last minute somebody bailed out on this video shoot. Do you want to do it? They're going to pay you, and it's just right up in LA, and it's Kelly Price." And I was like, and I was sitting around with my buddies. We were actually watching the game on TV, and my buddy Art said, "Man, you better go do it." If he wouldn't have said that, I probably wouldn't have done it. But so I got up, drove up to LA in the morning, and shot that video, and it was 24 hours. A lot of fun. Chris Robinson is the director. He was a great guy. Kelly was awesome. And then Viv is the funniest woman on the planet. Oh my God, she is hilarious. So it was a great time. And believe it or not, people remember me when I'm traveling for the video more than, as a player. I get stopped by, 40, 50-year-old women that are saying, "Oh man, I remember you." And so it's a gift that keeps on giving when I'm traveling, for sure.
I don't know why I just remembered this moment.
Did you get paid for it?
What's that?
Did you make any money for it?
No, I got paid pretty well for it for a day. It was actually during that time, it was pretty lucrative.
Wow.
Because I remember back then it was like, because you're an intellectual, you had the electrical engineering, you got your master's in business, but then I would see you be on like that, you were on like that woman's Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. I'm like, this dude, man, come on.
You've been doing your homework over there.
I know. I remember all that from the day, and I was like, this dude a model or a player?
Well, Bert, hey, you bring up his intellectual background. Bert tells me you're involved in, there's the communication between an NFL coach and his quarterback play caller. Everybody knows about what's going on in the helmet, but you want to bring that to high school. Explain, please.
Oh man, what an incredible company. Armia Tech is the company, and I just took a president's role for the company recently, and incredible play calling technology. We have from tablet to wrist receiver. So just like the Microsoft tablets you see in the NFL games, this tablet has encrypted technology that goes from the tablet to the wrist receiver And it's not just coach to quarterback, it's every player on the field. So this is going to change the game. We recently got approved by NFHS, which is 48 states. Texas jumped in, and they're going to be approved for high school sports. And so that's the market that's opened up right away. Georgia and Ohio will be next, and I'm looking to get California to approve it for their competition as well. But the play calling device, you're able to upload your total play calling sheet, right? Your normal sheet that has your colors and however you want it. You can have it tabulated. You can have it by down and distance. You are able to store all your data onto your tablet. And in a microsecond, 50.5 second, 0.5 milliseconds, you're able to send the play call with 4 lines of text, so 100 characters, that says your normal play. So I can have my full defensive fronts, anything exotic I want. I can have undercover 3, I can have a line stunt, and it's all coming in milliseconds. So now, as a safety, half of my job was to communicate, right? So most of the time I was with my back to our huddle, looking at their sideline, trying to see who was coming in the game, communicating down and distance, and then going through my checklist of down and distance, formation, and calling out what is to come, right? That's taking all the information and breaking it all the way down to now, okay, they're in 2x2, it's third 3 to 7. I got the tight end on the left, he's gonna run 2 routes, right? And as soon as he goes past 5 yards, I know it's the other route, right? So it's deductive thinking that I had to go through. And so that's why I'm so excited, because now all that goes away. I don't have to worry about screaming, handing, hand signals, or communicating with linebackers and defensive linemen to get them in the right spots. It's now I can go immediately to the 3rd and 4th iteration of the communication, which is watch this route. Here it comes, Dwayne, here comes the out, those are the kind of things that you get to in a game, but it's all the way at the end of the communication. So now with this device, it does a couple things. On defense, one, not all the communication, but then on the offensive side, same way. You can weaponize, right? Pace. You can, no huddle is just, you can have an ultra huddle now, right? Some more, the device allows you to run guys in and out like hockey almost now as well, right? So you can communicate. So one of the last things that I'll add about, I'm so fired up about this company, is the signal is such that it's just the same as if you're holding up a play card on the sideline, right? So, in your college, you see all these different characters on these play cards to call out the different calls for the game. Well, that goes all the way, to the end of the time, the play clock, right? So with the communication devices, they had the audio devices, the communication from the quarterback to coach, they cut those off, right? 15
right,
seconds
50
into
seconds.
Cut them. Yes. So that's not this type of communication. We can communicate all the way, time memoriam, 1 second left on the clock. And so there's an opportunity to deliver a message throughout so if I'm getting down and I'm going to coach up in the box and it's 20 seconds left and I see them bringing in nickel, I can immediately change the play. And everybody will get it and react. And here's the other thing. One last thing I'll say about this is that it vibrates, right? So everybody's got something that now they're triggered to look at. So when I call a play, it's going to vibrate. Everybody's going to look. And then now we run the play. Well, we also have that vibration is a silent count, right? So you get an opportunity to have everybody move without words being said. It's a very, very unique, innovative wearable device that is coming. It's approved. This is coming to sports. We are in 160 colleges now. for baseball and softball. UCLA just used it, and we got two teams in the World Series, softball World Series. UCLA and Ole Miss. They were using it yesterday during the game, and so really excited about where the company's going, and that's what we're doing.
What? Let me get one on
Dude, this is changing the high school game. You could change the pro game.
Yeah, I mean,
depending on if they'll let you.
We're in significant conversations with. I don't want to, because things aren't there yet, but we're NDA'd with Amazon. We've got discussions with Huddle, the Indoor Football League. As Bert will tell you, that I'm trying my best to bring that to them so they can see how the unit works and implement it into their game. And youth sports is open.
Well,
Open gives us 3.7 or 8 million teams. And we're not talking flag football and all the flag leagues as well. So it's an interesting device. It's here to stay. It touches on my engineering background. That's another reason why I'm so excited about it. It's just really kind of touches me everywhere I'm at and all my strengths.
Will it? Just the lowest form. I hate watching quarterbacks run back and forth to get a play, so that's good. But defensively, will this eliminate film study for players, you think, or kids at a high school level?
Never.
I think it's going to enhance it. So Brian Billick and Mike Smith used it at the Hula Bowl last year and this year. And one of the things they said right away was that they're getting in more plays. They're practicing faster and more efficient, and easier, because now there is no scout team cards, right? We're not holding up cards for the scout team to show the look or any of that, right? We're repping, and now the coaches can coach on the rep. But the other thing is correlating the film, right? There is no long days of breaking down film and making your cut-ups. This is all rolls into knowing the result. So at halftime, I'm going in as one of the coaches, and I already know what's successful, the outs, all the results. We ran this trap play 5 times, and it's working the best. We gained 35 yards in 5 plays, right? We're going to come and stay with that. Or third down's not doing well. So you have all that data going into halftime for coaches to make real-time decisions and switch. And I think the last part of it is it's just data, right? So from the tablet, you can edit, modify, change, do whatever you want in real time right then. It allows you to do that. So, and I'll use it. So for instance, I used to play this game in my head. If it's raining, how's the game going to go? If it's sunny, if they're throwing the ball on us, if they're running the ball on us, how is the game going to play out? Well, they go to the backup quarterback, and he's a lefty. Now all the boots are going to go to the right, right? So now I got to switch my formation and my call. Now I can do it right on the tablet. And now I have the defensive end that's getting upfield. Now he's the right guy instead of the left guy, right? So those kind of things allow this to be innovative and the future of sports.
I'm going to go back to the past of sports for a second, because you and I played it the other thing that always fascinating about you, because you and I played at similar times, and it was when the union was coming in there, restructuring players, the relationship to the team. Are you an employee? Are you not? And
right.
How did you? Because I remember how hostile it got in the locker room and between coaches and everything. So I know you were a player rep, but you're also undrafted. In first or second year. Yeah, how did you survive not getting blackballed and thrown out?
It's such a great question, Bert. You touched on a lot of things. So when I got to the Vikings in 1994, my rookie year, I became the alternate rep for the Players Association. Don't ask me how So I was sitting next to Robert Smith. Steve Jordan was the rep. Robert Smith was his alternate. And then Steve Jordan, Steve was going to the executive committee, and then so Robert was a rep, and he wanted me to be his assistant. And I had just made the team, and I'm a rookie free agent, and I was just trying to fly below the radar, to be honest. And so when Robert announced me, I got a lot of older guys coming over to me saying, "Hey, man, you don't want that. You know, like, you're gonna get cut. Like, you do not want that heat. Why do you want that heat?" And I realized that it was important, especially at that time, right? It was the first year of free agency. Reggie White went to Green Bay, so 4 years, 16 million. And so it was the first year where guys felt like not free, but like marketable, that they can go make their own money where they wanted to. The next year, I became the rep. Robert went to the executive committee. I became the rep, and so I was a guy. I was in my second year. Thank God I played well my first year, and I remember we started the marketing arm, which is now NFL Players. It was Players Inc. at the time. We were negotiating to buy the quarterback club from the NFL because we didn't have all the best players. 1996, I became, I was still a rep. We signed the quarterback club, and then we signed group licensing agreements. We did the deal with EA Sports, the Madden deal. We did an NIL deal in 1996, 98, 97, 96, 97, which is essentially NIL everybody talks about. We did that back then. And that was to sell our name, our tattoos, our likeness, and all that, right? And for the video game. And so when we did that, it was pivotal because we were the first to say, hey, we're all one big union that's not getting pieced away. So everybody gets a check for these deals that we're doing. And so now everybody in the NFL gets a check from the Madden game, right? Because of what we did 30 years ago.
You know what, though? Because I remember
things like that.
I remember being pissed off when that happened because remember Mike Orenstein used to negotiate it, and I would get like a $25,000 check like every year for the stuff. And then when that came, we all lost that. But everybody got something. Yeah, I didn't like that thing.
Because Bert, you were one of the significant guys that were connected on the outside where you could get those big deals in, right? And the union was the fight for the long snapper, the punter, the
common
guys
man, not the eighth guy.
Yeah, because
we
didn't have social media back then, and so those guys just kind of left out, all the way. And so that was part of that. But one of the things that we did, and the reason why we were the founders of union sports, is that we held our dues. And in 1995, we held our dues for 5 years. We had $16 million in the bank as a union at the time, and we didn't have enough money to fight the owners. So the thought was we're going to hold our dues, build up a war chest, and then kick it down the road and fight. Have a really good fight. And not have to worry about the money to spend on it. So we did that, and in 2002 was when that really paid off, and that's when we held the line and actually turned ourselves from employees to partners. Mm-hmm. It's the reason why we got 55 million a year quarterbacks now.
Yeah.
Because we held the line 30 years ago.
Robert, last question for you.
Can I get a last one too?
Hurry up, because I want to get this in the.
All right. I always ask this question because you're San Diego State connected. When I played with the Chargers you were playing, you guys would fill Jack Murphy at the time. I mean, outdraw us, do everything. What's the problem now that they can't? Is it they don't play the big name teams like you guys would play Miami, USC, those things? Or is it players?
True.
What is the problem?
It's that. So you remember we kept everybody at home, right? So I'm from San Diego, Darnay and Patrick Rowe, Tommy Booker, Leroy, Kyle Turley. Like, you start thinking about all these guys, they're all from San Diego. We all went to San Diego high schools. Leroy went to Point Loma, and we all were there. And that was a significant piece. Now, there is, you can move back and forth, right? The portal is the portal now. And so it's a couple things. One, the NIL, like, we need more money in our coffers to keep players here. We lost a couple basketball players. We had a great basketball team for a number of years. And then two is the Mountain West. and where, just the conference and the level of teams that are significant in that. And then the last piece is that, and I'm not here this is not a San Diego State bashing, it's now we're in a 35, seat stadium, right? Yeah. And so it should go the other way, right? That thing should be packed every game. And I think it will be, given the level of colleges that we can bring in. But it comes down to the NIL. It comes down to the portal. It comes down to the money that's being spent on players now. It's that significant.
Robert, last question. Speak to the two-star athlete out there who has dreams of making it either to the next level or the level beyond. Speak to those kids about the path you took and not to give up.
Yes. So you're to level up, you're gonna always have to be around the best. So one of the things that I work smart, right? You're gonna have to work, but work smart. So the thing that saved me was I worked out with Olympians. I was on the track 5 days a week. I put my head down. I never looked up, and you actually will get a lot more by just being consistent. So I would say consistency is number one. 2, get with the right group of people that can help you level up, get better, whether it's training, etc. And then the other part of it is just absolutely, total insane belief in yourself. Like, you have to know that the person you played against in high school that got that scholarship, you can beat, you can play with him. And that was the reason why I walked on in San Diego State, is at the time, they have given out all those scholarships to guys that were here that I had played against in high school. And I was like, well, I know I can play against those guys. If they can play college ball, I'm right there with them. And that's part of it. And once you get that confidence, just keep pushing.
All right. We're going to end the podcast there. But Robert, first of all, yeah. I need a happy moment just for the thumbnail. Everybody just be happy. All right, now, but Robert, I need any video links from your company that you're selling these gizmos to. Please, can you procure that for me?
I'll procure it.
Because that's going to be a big part of this conversation.
Beautiful.
I'll keep you in touch when we're going to post this. I'm going to try to do that later today. But the things I need, be around. I'm going to do the best advice, SDSU Woes, which I have video of, and all this tech stuff. What's the company's name again?
Well, I got to send you the thing where he's cheating on Vivica Fox.
And the Vivian Fox.
Come on, man.
What was the name of the video? What was the name of the song?
As We Lay.
The company is Armilla Tech. ARMILLA Tech.
Okay.
Yeah. We just called it Armilla, but yeah.
All right. We're going to end the podcast, Robert. I'll keep you posted on when this goes up. I didn't even get to my Viking questions, but we'll do this again, I promise. But I want to promote your company, okay?
Beautiful. You guys have a great Memorial Day weekend.
Right back at you. PPR podcast 2023 is over. Turn off the machines.